All right.
Yeah, what's up, man? He's like, what? Oh, woo. All right, here we are, man.
Yeah.
Back in the studio once again. Welcome to another episode of the Dark Rose Podcast. As usual, I have a special guest with me.
I ain't no special guest,
Well, he's
man.
not really a special guest.
Come on now.
He's a known host.
Co-host.
Co-host.
I'm
The
not-
majority
I'm not-
of all these podcasts.
Yeah, I'm not a host. I'm a co-host.
Co-host. All right, it's all right, it's all right. But yeah, Kills.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while since you've been on the couch, man. It's been a while.
It's been a while since we've been in the chair. Yeah, I can say that. I can say that.
It's been a minute, but hey, we're glad to have you back. We're glad to see you out here, man. I know it's been a it's been a journey. It's been a journey.
It has. I've been through some things. I'm still going through some things, but I'm good.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's going on, man?
Well, no, it's just medical stuff.
Okay.
My brother went through some medical stuff. My dad's gone through some medical stuff. I got to go through some medical stuff in the near future. My godson's grandmother passed away recently.
Oh man.
So yeah,
Didn't
so
hear that.
I've been it's been hitting me.
You been hitting you a little
Been
bit.
hitting me, yeah.
Oh man, but
And
the
this is all within the last month.
it be coming, man. It be coming for you, dude.
Yeah, it does, but
Devil would be trying to get at you.
Exactly.
But you got to be
You
like,
gotta stay-
no,
you gotta
not
stay- you
today,
got-
Satan.
Gotta stay strong.
Got to stay strong all day, every day.
Yep.
But you are for the medical thing. How are you feeling about it? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling positive.
Okay,
'Cause-
that's all I need.
Yeah, because I didn't have people pray for me and
Yeah.
everything like that, and it's
Okay.
just it is what it is. It's something you got to go through and get through it and push on with your life.
Okay, sounds good to me, man. Well, we'll keep you in the prayers, man. Everybody out there, make sure you keep Kills in your prayers, man. I've been praying for my work.
We all been praying for that.
Man, I've been
Not
praying-
just your work, but just work in general.
Yeah, man. And, something to do as now transitioning from working a 9 to 5, which I've always had a weird thing about that term because really you work 9 to 6 if you got like an hour lunch for any kind
Right.
of business anyway, or 5:30, whatever the case may be. Anyway,
And it
So-
depends on your job.
it depends on your job, right? So working a 9 to 5 and now going into more event-based working.
Okay.
Even at my current new position, I just got a new position as a guest concierge. It sounds so fancy, right? I have to say the concierge part. And it's so funny because sometimes I'd be like, I'm a walking concierge. Like, I'm just a walking concierge for people that are like either different from the areas or not from the areas. Like, hey, there's this over
I
here.
have a question.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not working at a hotel.
No. But it's hospitality still.
Oh, it's still hospitality.
It's still hospitality when you think
Okay,
about it.
okay.
So right now, guys, I picked up a little part-time gig so that way I can just have a little something. And plus, I've always wanted to work at SoFi Stadium. So I'll be at SoFi working as a guest concierge. So, those people that are pretty much walking back and forth, make sure the guests are having the best experiences possible.
Gotcha.
Making sure that, they have any questions about anything. I'm there to answer questions. I'm also there to assist them in not just finding their seats, y'all. I'm not a person that just like, oh, here's your seat.
You're
Obviously,
not an
I'm not an usher. You know what I mean? Even though they don't call them ushers there.
What the hell do they call them?
They call them guest servicers.
Oh, okay,
Guest
okay.
services. That's it. It's pretty much just guest
They
services.
just lump them all together.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a concierge, a little bit a step above, from my understanding, like a little bit step above, where it's just like basically answer questions for you about all the events that are going on. I'm your answer questions department. I'm your complaint department. Yeah.
So you're Q&A and the person I'm gonna kick around.
Yeah, all that in one person, in one
job.
in one job.
Gotcha.
One job, there
Shoot,
to
you might as well
just-
come back to the airport.
Yeah,
then.
exactly right. I'm there to de-escalate anything that comes on. I'm pretty much like if they would have called you guys, that you guys are like concierges in a way.
Of
where
course,
it's just
yeah.
like you're working at the airport as because I know what's the official title. What's the official title for you?
We are technically what they call customer service.
Customer service. But I'm saying, but what that's what it's called, customer service.
It's we're considered airport customer service agents.
Okay, there you go. Airport customer service agent. It's literally almost the same thing.
You could have just came upstairs and been good.
I could have if they gave me the hours and it was important events and I don't have to, maintain to a schedule. So the great thing about this job is they say, what's your availability? And we're going to work around your availability.
Oh, okay.
Whatever days you tell us you're available, that's the days we will schedule you to work
Got
if
it.
we
Okay.
have events for you.
Got it. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I can do that a month in advance, which is dope because now all I have to do really is say, hey, I got my whole calendar for June built out of all my gigs I already have and all my events I already have. And so I just go in there and say, okay, these are the dates I am available, and see and make sure there's events at SoFi on that day. Because not everybody knows, not everybody who works at SoFi is working there every day. You know what I mean? A lot of people were 80%, in my opinion, 80% of the people that work there are all part timers or people who will work there only during the course of the events. That's just, I'm just throwing numbers out there from what I can gain and what I can see.
Yeah, what you can gauge.
Yeah, exactly what I can gauge. And that's why it's so funny because we talked about like a lot of the stuff I have to go to is usually in the evening, like training wise is in the evening. My interviews were in the evening, and we're like, why is it so damn late? But they're trying.
Your events are going to be in the evening.
The events are going to be in the evening. That's one, but also that, everybody who works there for the most part are part timers. They have other jobs, whether they work at other arenas or other places like that. They like, you know what? This is we want to accommodate majority of the people probably, and they're like, that's why. Even some of the leadership and management, I think, are part time. You know what I mean? And that way they have a full time job and they do this and stuff like that on the side. And like I said, it's an event based company, it's an event based industry. So I said all that to say, going into this new position has been, it's been not say it's challenge. It's been different because I haven't done this in quite some time.
Okay.
Where it's just like, your guest facing service. I don't know how to make that sense. Like, sorry. So let me try to make that make sense. So before this, obviously, I worked in advertising, and I want to say corporate. It was kind of like a corporate, but I worked in advertising. I was Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 on that grind in the advertising world. Before that, I worked at Disney and, working as a guest talent coordinator. So working with guest talent, doing those educational workshops for the most part.
Right.
And I don't know why I did that. They are educational, but doing educational workshops and doing, like a little tour situation.
So really quick, you said, and I know we kind of talked about this before with the educational workshops, but isn't that just explaining what like Imagineers and all them do?
No, not necessarily.
So that's what I think a lot of people don't understand.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Disney, and also Walt Disney World, but Walt Disneyland's better. They have a department called the Disney Imagination Campus. What the Disney Imagination Campus does, they have made these educational programs for schools or groups to come in. It don't have to be a school. Any group can come in and really do them.
Okay.
It is a separate ticket price, you know what I mean? But it allows you to learn at Disneyland. So there's all these different pillars. Thank you.
No problem.
Of it. So, like, for example, I did theme park.
You missed me, don't you?
Yeah. I did theme park design. So theme park design, what they did was I got a group of kids and we gave them maps of Disney, like an outline, like 3 different outlines, and basically they have to create their own park.
Okay.
But going off of the things like we have to deal with at the park, like, hey, you got to make sure 20% of your park is dedicated to a background area. So what's your backstage area look like?
Okay.
Or emergency exits, where are those at? You know what I mean? How does your guest going to flow through your park? You know what I mean? So different things that us as people at Disney that we go through, that we was putting these kids through.
Gotcha.
They do engineering. I'm sorry, not engineering, but science and technology. So they show you like the technical ways on how we do like the fireworks shows or the hydro shows.
Okay.
They take you on some of the attractions and show you like how the attractions are, how they're doing stuff and stuff like that. We had physics. Obviously working at a theme park, physics is a big thing too because of roller coasters and stuff like that.
Right.
And you actually get to go on a roller coaster and you learn like why the physics of that works. Right. There's also a teamwork one, like Teamwork the Disney Way, where they did like teamwork challenges around the Disneyland Resort and how we use teamwork at Disneyland to make everybody's day more magical. Who am I forgetting? I'm trying to go through them right now. I can't remember them all at the top of my head. Oh, they have leadership, and where this is great for like ASB people, or anybody in corporate world
Okay.
who want to learn how Disney takes on leadership roles.
Okay.
And then what's cool about that is they get to interview people of leadership status at Disneyland. And sometimes, like, it's rare, what we call Theme Park One, which Theme Park One is basically the person who's in charge of Disneyland for the day. Like,
okay.
That's their job. Like, they're the lead.
Okay. For the whole park.
For the whole park.
So it's almost like a manager, but it's like the district manager for the area.
Exactly. So there's one for Disneyland, there's one for California Adventure. And so, sometimes they get to interview them. And that means they've been working there for X amount of time. They know a lot about leadership roles, and they get to interview these people, or some type of manager or leadership position. They get to do that and ask them questions. So anyway, it's a great program. I always tell kids or ASB providers who does this, I think it's a great thing for your kids to do, especially go learn at Disneyland and then have a fun day afterwards. I mean, it's a great program. It's a great program. It really is. I really speak highly of it. What I mean?
And like I said, I just asked you to kind of explain that because you're explaining like you're advertising. Yeah. That's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, definitely.
And then you did the customer service. So I just wanted to see. So I just wanted our listeners, to understand the difference in the different things that you've done.
Yeah, exactly.
So like just saying, oh, I did this at Disneyland. Well, what did that entail? Yeah. Because at first it only sounds like I'm basically customer service. Yeah. Where there was much, much more to that than.
Yeah, exactly. It's more in depth. And as I'm talking to you, I realize I didn't turn that mic on to that camera.
It's okay.
But it's okay. We're going to figure it.
We'll fix that in post.
Hopefully fix it in post. If not, then you're just going to be listening to this podcast today. So that's what I did. And then before that, it was Delta. Right. Did Delta for almost 10 years or 10 years. And obviously, I'm not working with customers, straight-facing customers like that.
At the time, we were below wing.
Yeah, we're below wing, which
we
means
were basically doing baggage and stuff.
Baggage stuff, the freight and all that stuff, and that was a whole different monster. So anyway, I haven't done this kind of role in a while, and I always wanted to be at SoFi or some type of sporting arena. Right. And I'm like, one day, and then this is happening.
The day hit.
And the day hit, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm like, is it the job I want? I mean, obviously it's the job I want right now because it was just like, okay, it's cool, it's something easy I can do. And I'm using it just to network, really network and get myself out there more as a person who can do events, who's more of an event MC. That's because that's the way I'm trying to go. Is more into the event MC, event hosting.
That's your end game.
That's the end game. You know what I'm saying? And I've talked to a lot of people who I've started. Going to be colleagues of mine now, who are saying the same thing and who have worked at different arenas and saying like, yeah, I've had contacts with X and X wife or the coaches or something like that, where it's just like now it's about building that relationship with them, which is dope. So, but I'm just learning at this stage, like it makes me feel weird, even though like a lot of people I'm working with now are either like older than me. I mean, there may be a couple around my age, and then there's definitely ones that are younger than me. Right. And it just made me feel a little weird. It was like, is this the weird role to have at 39 years old? You know what I mean? Like, is this the role to really be doing like part-time and then part-time here? But like, at least a lot of people are like working part-time at 2 facilities. And I'm just like, damn. I'm like, all right, cool. But not that nothing's beneath me, but I'm just, going from advertising to this is crazy.
Here's the thing you also got to figure out. And I've slowly figured that out. Mm-hmm. You have 2 types of jobs. There's a job you need, and then there's a job you want. Mm-hmm. You are slowly finding the job you want. Mm-hmm. Where most people don't even get close to that.
Okay.
Yeah. The job you need is the one that pays the bills. Yeah. I mean, you may hate it, but it pays the bills. Yeah. But then you find the job you want. And that's the job that your parents told you about, that if you find something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah. You're slowly finding that. Yeah. So, I mean, don't feel weird about it. Imagine being in that kind of job or in a job. Prime example, let's say you just started at Disney, but you're the old guy in the room. Yeah. Anyway.
I felt like that a couple times. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I be watching that movie Intern, The Intern.
Right.
I'm like,
Well, I mean, come on now. I've been feeling that way since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been the oldest guy in the room. But,
Okay.
But, you know, it's something I like doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's not a matter of age. It's a matter of experience.
Got you. Yeah. That's been. Yeah. I mean, obviously that's
Because even if you look at the older guys in your situation now, it's about experience.
word. It's definitely about the experience, and everybody has their own different experiences.
Right.
And
And if you can learn from them or get them to not so much mentor you, but kind of give you their kind of what they went through,
yeah,
then you can make your own choices,
got you.
which means you have that experience base, but it's based on somebody else. So you don't necessarily have to go through it to experience it.
Got you. Yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Because, I mean, that's just the way to think about it is, you know, when you get to a certain age, you're like, I need to be settled in something. And I guess that's what I keep coming back to. Like, oh, man, I'm 39. I should be settled in something.
But that's not always true. And the reason I say that is because if that's the case, then people wouldn't go back to school.
Yeah. And that was the whole reason. And it's so funny is all my stuff has been different from when I went back to school. Like, I originally only went back to school to get my degree to coach basketball. I wanted to be a college level coach. Went back to school, got my degree, but I went back to school to get my degree only because I wanted to be a coach, and I'm like, okay, cool, I want to finish this out too. And then within that process, I really started to really dig on advertising. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, dude, let me go into this part of it, and that's how that whole adventure started. You know what I mean? And then I also thought about, like, you know, as a person who's 39 years old again and saying, like, and who just got married, like, do I, as a coach, you have to travel not only with the team, but you have to travel to wherever you land that job at. It's not guaranteed you'll get a job in California.
Oh, of course.
You know, and if you do get a job in California, it might not be Southern California, or it might be in Northern California. So you have to go where the job is at. And even when there's a new position, like, do I want to move my family? Which is not a lot. It's just me and our dog Molly. You know what I mean? It's like, do I want to uproot Nia to go chase this job? You know, not chase, but go do this job as a consistent coach somewhere, build up enough things. Like, one guy I know who did that before, like, who kind of a mentor to me in a way. He probably don't know it, but you know, Chris Acker. He started off at a community college out here at Citrus College, and then from Citrus College, he got a job offer to go to Hawaii to be like the third assistant, and then from Hawaii, he got another job offer to go to Boise State to be the second assistant coach.
Right.
And then from there, he got the full head coaching job at Long Beach State.
Okay.
But it's just like he got back home, but it's still like years within those different, you know what I'm saying, moving your family around when, you know, but he loves what he does and he's great at what he does. And so that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if I wanted to do that. You know, I didn't want to move us around like that.
That also, that comes, like you said, you wanted to be a coach. Well, that comes with being a coach.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't want to be a coach then. If that's the case, then.
Well, it may not be that you didn't want to be a coach. It was maybe that you didn't think it all the way through that, you know, being a coach would do all of this.
I mean, maybe that was single me talking.
Yeah, that could have been.
Single me, like, at the
because
time.
you decided to go back to school when you were single.
Yeah.
You weren't married yet.
Yeah. I mean, we were still dating.
You were dating, but
still, yeah.
But dating and marriage are two different areas.
Yeah.
You know, at dating, it was like, okay, if I get this job in, let's say, Wyoming, you know, and I got to go to Wyoming. If we're dating, it's her choice.
Yeah.
You know, but we're married, it's our choice.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That's where that comes in. And a lot of times that's where marriages fail. Because it doesn't become our choice.
Yeah.
Like it should be.
But that made a good point, and then I was like, because at first I was trying to convince myself, well, Nia's job is home, you know, it's remote, so it's like she could literally work from anywhere, except the fact that she does have to go to certain sites somebody once in a while, you know what I mean, so she does have to fly out, but it's like,
she does that already.
She does that already, but still, like, she has to see if there's sites in her area, if we moved, and if we moved again, like, just do that whole process, and like, I just didn't want to do that, man. And then I just started to think about just like that, and I'm just like, but I still want to coach, but maybe I think I need to do something more.
Again, that's a conversation that you have.
Yeah.
You know, all I have to say is this. That was the conversation. Once you decided you wanted to do that, even dating, once you got to a point where you knew this was the woman you wanted, this is the woman you wanted to be with for the rest of your life, that's the conversation to have then. You know, have that conversation. Because if the coaching is your true passion, if that's what you truly wanted to do, then the conversation now becomes, babe, this is what's in my heart. So have that conversation. Then once you two have that conversation, then you decide whether that's what you really want to do. Do I want to coach?
Yeah.
Or do I want to be with this woman?
Yeah.
For the rest of my life. Because, you know, at a certain point, you have to make decisions no longer for you. Even if you're not married, you don't have to make decisions. You no longer make decisions for just yourself. Because, like, for you, I know you don't have a lot of siblings or any siblings.
I don't have any siblings.
Well, no, I'm just saying you have, you know.
Yeah.
So all you have is your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
So at some point, you know, even though you don't live with them,
yeah,
you still care for them. You know, you still,
yeah,
you know. So that's another thing where you have to look at going, okay, if I move to Wyoming,
yeah,
who looks out for my parents?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure pretty much how old your parents are. But like my parents are up in age. You know, and I'm technically not the only one, but I'm the only child left here. So if I moved, like, say, to Atlanta because of my job, who's here with my parents?
Yeah, facts.
You know, that's things you have to look into, especially if you're very family oriented.
Yeah.
That's things you look into.
And her mom were like thick
like,
as thieves, so it would be hard to separate them like that. But no, man, you're absolutely right, dude. It's just been one of those, you know, things you think about, you know, as you get older and stuff like that. Like, because I think, well, for you, you're retiring Delta.
Yeah, I'm not going nowhere now.
You ain't going nowhere now. He said, nope, that's it.
I'm not ashamed. I'll be 53 next month.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not starting over.
It's hard to start. How much longer you got there? You think until you can actually retire?
Until I can actually retire?
Yeah.
Retirement age is 65, or is it 67 now? I think it's 67 now. Retirement age in California.
You gonna start how much longer you think you got there though until you retire? Are you gonna go the whole 60?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm above wing, so my body's not taking a beat like it would be when I first started.
Oh my god. What was the name of the dude that used to work below wing? He was like 80 years old and it was still working down there. 70 years old, smoking cigarettes and stuff. Light skinned brother.
Yeah,
damn, what was his name, man?
I can't tell
you.
It
was this dude we used to work with, light skinned brother. I think he wasn't there when I left because he left at COVID. They gave him a package and whatever, like a golden handshake kind of deal. But he was literally like in his 70s, slanging bags still.
Oh yeah,
smoking cigarettes. He said, "Everybody my help. Everybody in my family smoke." I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He was like, but he was like damn near 70 years. Dave. I want to say his name was Dave. Dave. That's what I want to think his name. But anyway, that more. I need to see him one day.
I mean, we got people down there still that's, you know, I don't know what their age is, but they got like almost 60 years at Delta.
That's crazy.
If you got 60 years at Delta, you at least 70, 80 years old.
I tell any new kid, anybody who's looking for a job, like you, that's when, and you don't know exactly what you want to do. That's the best out for unless you're trying to go military. I think working at the airport, especially for an actual airline, is the best thing you can do because of the fact that you're gonna get paid decent money, and on top of that, you get to travel for free unless it's international. And you just pay taxes, which is dirt cheap compared to what you'll pay for an international flight. So if I said if you look, if you don't want to go to the Army or to the Navy or anything like that, you don't want to serve the country,
but you want to see the world.
You want to see the world. That's the best thing you can do.
I will say that. Yeah,
it's the best thing. Imagine being 21 and getting in at the airport. Like
Imagine
that
being 18.
or 18 and getting at the airport. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, and you get to travel the world and fly. Like, it's so funny. I tell people, like, I didn't know myself enough until I started traveling. And not just know myself, but I didn't know anything or experience a lot of stuff until I started to travel. And I don't know if that was the same for you, Kills. Like,
I was actually a. My wife says I was spoiled,
mm-hmm,
but I think I was just a gifted
mm-hmm,
in that area because I got to travel.
mm-hmm,
You know, not so much international,
mm-hmm.
but I got to I got to see this country. You know, I got to see Mexico. I got to see Canada. You know, I got to see
Before you joined
before
Delta.
oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
As a teenager.
I know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see almost other than like Hawaii, Alaska, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, the 50 states I've driven from here to New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I mean, it's an experience that even if you get to do it as a kid,
Yeah.
do it as an adult. It's a different experience.
No, like facts, man. Like, my first flight I ever went on was to Chicago. I flew JetBlue.
Oh my.
I mean, I thought it was, why you say it like that? I thought JetBlue at the time, I thought it was dope. I'm like, oh, this is a nice flight. I got DirecTV on my flight. Like, DirecTV. That's a thing anymore. But flew to Chicago, and I was like,
Okay.
you know, and walked around the city. I got to stay at a nice little hotel. Paid for about a school because I was there for a conference. And it was great, man. I was like, oh, cool. My first experience flying on a plane.
Right.
And I was semi-claustrophobic, so I was like, I don't know how I was going to do, man. But, and I can't remember what was my second venture on the plane. But anyway, but my first international trip.
Right.
I remember my first international trip was to Dublin because I was a big Game of Thrones fan, and I wanted to go see some of the landmarks from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I don't think I ever told anybody this, but I was scared. I was scared to travel by myself a little bit. Like, you're laughing, but at the time, I was scared. Like, I was so scared. Like, I remember leaving my mom a package. Like, I had a package of everywhere I was going to be just in case. And like, you know, and you know, because you see the movies, you see TV, Taken and shit like that. But then I have to remember, Black people don't get kidnapped. Like, Black people don't get kidnapped. Like, I had to remember that. You know what I mean? Especially Black men. Like, what? Who kidnapping me?
They might take a Black
They
female.
might take the worst thing.
They might take a Black female. But
Worst thing is I might go to jail. And I was like, I don't want to go to jail. You know, the whole from Blue Streak.
Yeah.
You can go to jail, Mexico. Nobody want to go to jail, Mexico.
Right.
And so, you know, but I didn't go to Mexico. I went to Dublin. I went where the white people were at. You know, worst thing I get is a little bit of racism. But I don't know. I don't know if I was. But anyway, I went to Dublin by myself, and
you loved it.
I mean, I loved it. I wish I had more money, but I went like I was balling on a budget. Like, I paid for my ticket from my hotel. I remember I stayed at a thing called the Castle Hotel because I thought it really was like a castle, but it wasn't a castle. But it was a nice little hotel. It was cool. But my last night, I didn't have enough. I knew I wasn't gonna have enough money to stay in another hotel, so I booked myself at a hostel.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh shit, I'm about to stay at a hostel. But in the hostel I went into, it was kind of nice. We went in there, kind of like a dorm room,
right? Where
it's like you had a little cafeteria downstairs and like places to sit and shit and chat. And then I had a what they call a 4-bed mix. So a 4-bed mix is kind of like what it sounds like. So there's four different beds, like little cots, not like fucking queen beds or double, even a double.
It was almost like bunk bed.
Yeah, bunk bed, like a cot. You know what I mean? But they're all separate. You know,
right?
And a mix means it can be men or women that are in this thing.
Okay.
Right? Obviously, I had the ultimate fantasy. Watch, I go to Dublin, or this girl come in the room, and we hit it off, and now we smashing in the room. None of that, though. But none of that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying. But the great thing what happened to me on mine is, even though I booked I booked the bed, it was like $25. You know what I mean? And I literally was the only person that showed up to that room. What? So there was nobody. I had the whole room to myself.
You booked and got single.
Yeah, so basically I got a room for $25, you know what I mean, for the night, you know what I mean, which was dope. And then I remember like not having like a lot of money to get, like I had enough money to get back on the bus
to get back
to the airport, but I didn't have like money for all that stuff. And then I met a dude. This is gonna sound so homo. No homo. No, I won't say that. Whatever, man. You know, whatever. Fuck it. I met a dude. No, a straight guy on the tour. And we hit it off, and we were like talking about Game of Thrones, and we were talking
Right.
about all kinds of stuff. Me and him actually went to the bar. This is sounding a little bit weird now, but we went to the bar. He bought me a drink, because I was like, dude,
It's getting strange.
it's getting strange. I'm like, I might have to do some strange for a little piece of change. I don't know around here, boy.
Brother got to eat.
Brother got to eat and get home. I don't know. I just got to get home in one piece. But anyway, we hit it off. It was really cool.
You made a friend.
I made a friend, which was dope, man. I can't remember his name now. It's been so long now. Was it Andrew? We kept in touch a little bit afterwards too. Like
Right.
he was from Australia, matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
But he was Asian. He was an Asian dude from Australia.
Okay.
Which was cool. And we hit it off. It was cool. Like he bought me a drink. You know what I mean? So like I have a picture of that somewhere of me and him drinking some whiskey. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, Guinness.
Yeah, get some Guinness and stuff like that. So I will say, if you go to the bar out there, you better know the fuck you're drinking right away. Because if you don't, they'll pass by you. What do you want? Okay, you don't know. Okay, but like
Oh yeah, it's one of them.
yeah, it's one of those places. But anyway, long story short, that was cool. So, but I got to really understand travel. I got to go kiss the Blarney Stone, which
Okay.
is part like it's supposed to give you like to get the gab and to get the eloquence and all that stuff, which is funny because after I kissed that stone, that's what it's supposed to give you, like get the gab,
Right.
get the and all this, like basically get the like speaking and all this stuff. And I literally that's when I got that Conan O'Brien gig
Got it.
afterwards, because I was like, oh, this should work, you know. But I got to learn more about myself. I went to Tokyo, learn about myself. Like I went to Tokyo with a friend of mine from work, and then which was Aaron.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Aaron Tokyo, which was a whole different experience. My first time feeling snow fall.
Okay.
Like, so I had all these different experience with the food, the culture, with the Germany by myself, and I was like, oh shit, this is Germany.
Right.
But I wanted to go see the
wall.
No, I wanted to go see the Neuschwanstein, whatever, the castle that Walt Disney got the idea to do his castle.
Oh, okay.
Is
Yeah.
out like 2 hours away. So I took a 2-hour train ride from where I was at in Germany, which was Munich. I took a 2-hour ride from Munich to this castle, got to tour the castle and all that stuff. But I'm saying, like, I said all that to say I wasn't trying to flex on anything like that. But what I'm saying is all that travel made me really understand myself, the things I liked, and the things
it opens your eyes.
and the things to Americans that we just don't, we either take for granted or we
Don't know.
don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just how to function.
Yeah.
And then because of that, it made me better around more people. You know what I mean? Where it's just like I have other experiences to talk to people about.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, it made me a bit snobbish, a little bit to certain people. Like, boy, nigga, I travel. Like, I mean, we could talk, but I've
Right.
been, I've done that. Yeah. But I'm just saying, let me say, if you're looking for a job, you know, airport's a good job. Airport's a good job.
Airport's
It's
definitely a
gonna
good
work
job.
your ass out though.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna work your ass out.
I mean, I look at it this way because even Carl knows because we've been friends for.
I know it's it's been a minute now.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
At least over 10 years
It's
now.
been over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been over 10 years. It's crazy.
But he knows me. I'm a people person.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a people person,
Mm-hmm.
you know the airports, especially if you can get in the ticket counter
Mm-hmm.
or gates or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're in the public, it's a great job. Now, keep in mind,
Here we go. Here we go.
you're gonna find people who, no matter how good you are to them, that they're not gonna be good back. You know, no matter how good you are. But don't let, as I tell my wife all the time, don't let somebody else change who you are.
Word.
And I think I told Carl this. Don't
Yeah.
don't let people change who you actually are as a person.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to be mean. Unhappy people are going to want you to be unhappy. Don't fall into that.
It's not worth it sometimes.
No, it's never worth it.
It's like not worth it to be so
Unhappy.
unhappy. I mean, you can be unhappy with situations. Shit happens, man. Like, you know, obviously we don't have to go into any horror stories about the airport and all that
Oh, no.
stuff, but all I know is stuff happens. Some things are out of people's control. Sometimes you got to remember that, and then sometimes you can't. That's one thing they told us at this job was too as a
Right.
concierge. She said, "Don't
Take it personal.
take shit personal.
Right.
Like people are here, you know, you're just trying to make their day great. And if it's not, then that's all you do. Long you attempt to make it great. That's all we can ask
That's
for,
all you can do.
and that's all we can do. And it's just like, you know what, man? Like, I get that, and that's probably why Disney is so successful in what they do.
Because I mean, if you think about it, even at Disneyland, I mean, I don't know if you worked, you've worked in
attractions,
but you've worked in the public.
Yeah.
Other than just with the educational, you worked in the public, so you know, even at the happiest place on earth, everybody's not happy.
No, everybody has their own.
Everybody's going through their own stuff.
They want certain things a certain way. Like, and I just like, you know, there's ways to combat stuff, and I don't know how to say that. Like, you know, people complain about all kind of different things, which is, you know, but I mean, sometimes it's just easier to complain. Because I do. I ain't gonna lie, I complain a lot about stuff, and I need to get in a better habit of not complaining. Like, really not complaining. Because it could be worse. Yep. Or it could be a situation where it's just like, is it gonna? Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, this person's control, and can this person really do more for me? And I sometimes be thinking about that. My thing I get annoyed about, and Nia gets on my case about it, is like, I want somebody to go above and beyond for me, for other things, like things that I feel like are in your control. For example, I've brought this up another time on the podcast, and if people are listening, they probably understand that they never heard the story before. But if not, then, you know, here you go. Like, I go to a coffee shop,
right,
and I feel like if you have all the ingredients to make me the drink I'm asking for, and it's not on your menu, you should be able to make it, just to satisfy me. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about the customer's always right. The customer's like, I understand that. You know what I mean? Like, I really been saying, like, if you have it, you like, for example, I love a London.
I was about to say, give me an example.
Okay, so I went to a local coffee shop that me and Nia go to, and I asked them, hey, can you make me a London smog, and they're like, sorry, we don't have that here. I said, okay, you have black Earl Grey tea, you have milk, and you have espresso, and you already have lavender. So why can't you make me a London? Well, we don't have the button. I'm like, once again, like, I don't care. Like, if you tell me it's an extra charge, okay, whatever. It's an extra charge, whatever the case may be. But I'm thinking to myself, like, or you just don't know how to make it. Be honest and say, I don't know how to make it.
Now that I understand. If you tell me you don't know how to make it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or, now, prime example. On that same note, you could have walked into a spot. I don't know the spot.
Yeah.
But you could have walked into a spot that they used to do stuff like that, and then management got on their case behind it because somebody messed up the drink.
Well, no, that's not the case. But like,
I'm just saying that kind of situation. Then you're kind of like, that person's kind of like, well, I don't want to. You know, they get into that kind of mode where I don't need management coming down on my head because I made this drink wrong, and now you're complaining about it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know the ratios correctly to make that drink correctly. But on that same note, like you said, you could simply say, well, I don't know how to make that drink.
I would still attempt to make the drink and just be adamant like, hey, I've never made this drink before, but we going to try it out and see if you like it. You know what I mean? Right. And that's the case, because that's good customer service that brings people back. Like, same case in point, right? I went to another coffee shop.
Right.
And I asked the lady, say, hey, I see you have a London fog. Can you just make me a London smog? She was like, is that pretty much espresso without a sweetener to it? Like, yes. Okay, yeah, I got you. And that was it.
Right.
It wasn't because it wasn't on her menu.
Right.
It was nothing different, more just adding two separate things.
Right.
And you said, how does it taste? It tastes good? Like, yeah, I like it. She's like, all right, cool, great. You know what I mean? And that's it. Right. Like, I even asked, went to a place like, hey, you guys got this cream top, like cold foam that's nice and good, but I want it on this drink. And they were like, we can't do that. I'm like, what? Why can't you just add it to the fucking drink?
Right. No.
I don't understand
that.
I'm like, if I'm asking for it,
right,
it shouldn't be an issue. But also, I found out too, but I don't know if it's true. I'm gonna test it out. Starbucks, because I went through a line of Starbucks one time in the drive-thru, and I was talking about a drink, and they were like, "Oh no, but if you know the recipe, we can try to make it for you."
Right.
And I'm like, "Wait, Starbucks? You can do that?
They'll do that? Yeah.
Yeah, do that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, did you know that?
They'll alter drinks.
See, so now I'm just like, now it's even more mind-blowing because that's Starbucks.
Right.
You know, that's the corporate entity that everybody's trying to fight against and all this stuff.
Right.
And it's just like, but they're like, hey, you know the recipe? We'll make it for you. We'll try to make it for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the customer service at certain Starbucks are just fucking phenomenal. Like, there's only 2 Starbucks I go to
Right.
around my house. And one I only go to on Tuesdays because before that's one time I go into the office to a point where I know the manager, he's cool with me. Everybody I always have like a joke for them or whatever, do the drive-through, and they do that. I'm like, damn, like y'all really cool with doing that? But you mean a small, and I'm gonna call them mom and pops, a small coffee shop can't do the same thing for me.
They can, like I said, but a lot of times their resources are limited. So, small alterations, I don't think that they should be able to, they should say no to like prime example, I can't stand coffee, but every now and again, a brother will drink a cappuccino, and I do blame Hudson Hawk for this because they talked about it. So I was like, well, let me try it, but prime example, I will go to Starbucks and I will get a cappuccino, but I'll alter the ratios of the cappuccino. And then I'll add flavors. No problem.
Because traditionally, there's no real flavor
To a
added
cappuccino.
to a cappuccino. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. If y'all didn't know that.
So I'm a big hazelnut guy.
Okay.
I love hazelnut. So I get my cappuccino, more milk than coffee, and then I get hazelnut added to it. And, they do the little design for me and everything like that on it. And it's funny because the one Starbucks I always went to is now closed, which is the one that was in Terminal 2 at LAX. But they closed it down.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm going to ask you this, man.
Yes.
I'm about to get into the weeds. This is the Dark Roast Podcast.
Gotcha.
So.
And I'm about to say something that's going to upset you a little bit.
Okay, it's okay. Do you feel like you can tell the difference between a latte made from there and a cappuccino made from there?
Yes.
Now, what do you feel is the difference?
It's just a different taste for me. I can't explain it.
Okay, so traditionally, right, latte is obviously your espresso, milk.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's it. With
Right.
a little bit of a foam top
Right.
if you want to. Get this done. A cappuccino, espresso, little bit of milk, more foam.
Okay.
So that's my question. I feel like when I go to get a cappuccino from most places or even just Starbucks, I don't get the foam top.
Gotcha.
I get a thick foam version of the milk, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't know how to say that, but like it's like a silkier that way, and it comes in a wider container.
Right.
That's the only difference that I get in a cappuccino. But the reason why supposed to get from my understanding, the reason why you're supposed to get like a rounder, more deep cup for a cappuccino is because it's more foam.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So it's espresso,
but it
milk,
does,
foam.
It does taste a little different though.
Okay.
I do taste the difference.
And there's usually, like I said, and also there's no usually a syrup within that.
But
I do a little bit of something like I said. I put like maybe a little bit of chocolate or whatever in mine.
Right.
Something in the case that something that's gonna enrich the flavor of the actual espresso.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Because the lattes are like nowadays people are I just call them sugar drinks. Like you just getting a sugar drink that you don't care about the espresso of it.
Right.
And nobody cares. Like it has to do two things. It got to keep my ass up. It has to look pretty, and it has to drink me smooth. It got to drink smooth.
It's got to be smooth.
It's got to be smooth. And that's the only thing people care about when it comes to espresso nowadays and their coffees and their lattes.
Right.
They don't care about the actual flavor of the coffee.
Right.
Some people do.
And
Some people don't.
like I said, I'm not a big coffee drinker.
Got you.
So, I think to me when you drink coffee, there's a bitterness behind it. I don't understand why all coffee has that same bitterness.
Okay.
I don't care how they're roasted their beans.
No. So depending on the bitterness is to come how it's being extracted.
Okay.
So it gets more bitter if it's being extracted improperly.
Okay.
So people's ratios are usually off. That's why it gets more bitter.
Okay.
So there's certain parts of the extraction process
Okay.
that you can pull from.
Okay.
So some people don't pull the first 2 seconds of the shot. they pull the crema, like, so you get that crema on top, right? That's the part you want right there. But if it's super bitter, that means you maybe had a longer extraction. It was just too much it's too much,
Right.
and it's burning through the coffee or the espresso. But it's just the extraction is off.
Okay.
That's why. But the problem is you can't taste it all the time in lattes because in a cappuccino,
right?
Because cappuccino is
more
espresso,
right?
But you can taste the espresso. You're supposed to taste the espresso,
right?
But when in a latte, it don't make a difference because you're filtering with milk, and added syrups or whatever
right.
case may be to it. So you really don't get the full coffee taste.
Gotcha.
Or espresso taste,
flavor.
unless you want a little bit more stronger, or depending on it does depend on the beans. But yes, because of that, I'm just letting you know, waiting right gets it bitter, because there's a note thing where it's like, this is how you get the bitter side of it. This is why it's not so bitter. This is the sweet spot. So it depends on how long they're extracting their stuff. I'm sorry.
No.
Into that, yeah.
But, and this is the part that I think is going to upset you a little bit, because like I said, we've been friends for a while, and you do have your little coffee set up and everything like that. I have found a matcha place.
Okay.
And they make I don't know how he does it, because he's outside. He's at the farmer's market by my house, and the matcha's great. Mm-hmm. The matcha is great, and he does flavored matchas and regular matcha.
Okay. But
Carl,
why would I like this?
Because his straight matcha is better than yours.
Wow.
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And like I said, I don't know.
His straight matcha.
It is straight matcha. And I don't know.
So you just drink it. Okay, so when
I
I made your drink before,
right.
What was in it?
What was in it? I think it was it the brown sugar?
Did you get a flavored matcha with him, or you just got a straight matcha with him?
I've had flavors with him as well.
Okay, then.
But
so what is it about his matcha? Is his matcha more smooth? Or what is it?
It is a lot.
Okay, so here's the thing. All right. I understand that, and I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
Because I've actually came across a new matcha.
Okay.
That I've been using for Nia.
Okay.
It's a little more expensive. It's like $40 a little can, but it's definitely a lot better than the matcha I was currently using.
Okay.
So that could be. I mean, so I'll make you one eventually.
It might be the quality of the matcha.
It might be quality. Yeah, it might be the quality of the
Okay.
matcha, like that is being used.
Okay.
And then also I have an actual ratio. Like I went to a coffee shop where Nia and I liked the matcha there.
Uh-huh.
And we've been going back to this coffee shop. And the guy, I told him like what I've been doing, and he literally gave me this is how we do our matcha. Like this is our measurements. And it could be like that, because at the time I probably wasn't doing measuring. I wasn't measuring it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So now I'm measuring my content of my matcha.
I'm
fine tuning the matcha situation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'll let it prepare you another matcha and see if you like it or not. But we get to that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Your matcha was good.
Yeah.
The matcha you gave me was great.
Mm-hmm.
But I just
it's fine. It's totally fine, because that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? That's gonna definitely happen. Just as long as I don't turn you off matcha.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't drink matcha like that per se.
I don't think anybody could ever turn me off of matcha. They could stop me from coming to their place to get their matcha.
Now here's the thing. There's no serious question, right?
Right.
If that place was closed and I had my own place, my spot, would you come get my matcha?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So at least it's good enough to do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
I mean, here's the thing. He's only there on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my Saturday stop.
Oh, got you.
Like I'm coming home from work.
Mm-hmm.
He's at the farmer's market. I'm going to the farmer's market anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm getting matcha from him. I get a double matcha. I get 2 matchas from him, because he only does 12-ounce cups.
Okay.
So I get a double, pour it in my 24-ounce cup.
Are you serious?
I sure in the hell do. Because I want a big one.
You want a big matcha?
I want a big matcha.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
So, and I told him, I said, the only thing that would make this better is if you had a bigger cup. And he was like, well, the measurements would,
extreme.
So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just order 2 then. And
Yeah.
I bring my own cup.
Yeah.
He makes 2 cups, and I just pour them both in my big cup, and I go on about my business.
That's hilarious. Now, question for you is: have you had roasted matcha yet?
Yes.
And
He has that too.
You like hojicha? You like hojicha?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And actually, the funniest thing about it is, he had me try it, because he's like, I have this. He's like, it's a roasted matcha. It's not green. I'm like, okay. I was like, do you suggest it? and two of his friends who were there, they were like, "Oh, it's so good." I'm like, "Okay." That tastes like a frozen hot chocolate to me.
That's good.
It's good. So I'm like, "Oh, I can have frozen hot chocolate without actually having the chocolate."
Yeah.
And being a diabetic, that's that's actually a fun thing.
So do you know the difference between the two?
Um,
Regular matcha and roasted matcha?
well, one's roasted.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, okay, yes, obviously that. But the two big differences is one has roasted matcha has less caffeine than regular matcha. Yes. So I mean, and then there's the nuttier flavors with that, and then obviously grass. Okay, so the flavor notes are well. Obviously, the flavor notes are different. You can tell just because one's brown and one's green. Right. But also the fact that roasted matcha has less caffeine in it, and most places don't pair matcha well with certain things, or they don't pair it well, like especially like a hojicha, like pair that well with something else. Today, Nia asked me to make her a honey miso matcha. So I made a honey miso syrup, and it's supposed to be a roasted matcha because that's where she found this girl on TikTok that did it, and I was like, okay, but I don't have any roasted matcha at the time. You had to make so I made I made it with regular matcha, and she liked it, so she downed it. But yeah, so just trying to pair the flavors to make sure. And actually, speaking of flavors, like we're not doing. You're the first person to know this. We're not doing a big Juneteenth bash like we did last year, but we are gonna do I'm gonna do a pop-up cafe.
Okay.
And I'm gonna feature different African flavors from the greater African diaspora flavors for my latte menu.
Okay.
So whether it be like I'm doing like a honey cornbread latte. I'm thinking about doing a hummingbird latte. I'm thinking about doing like guava, I think that Caribbean flavor, maybe like a guava situation, like a guava matcha or something like that. So I'm incorporating some different flavors. And so I'll be doing that for Juneteenth.
Okay.
So people can come through and grab some coffee and whatever. Nia might bake something, maybe. I don't know. I asked her to bake one thing. Don't want her to, because she's getting overwhelmed. So I don't want her to get overwhelmed. Right. But yeah, man. So that's what's going on that end. That's what's going on. Yes. Real quick though, did you go see Mortal Kombat?
Of course I did. I did.
And what did you think?
It was good.
Oh shit, it was good. That was like a butt in this motherfucker all the time. Like, what's the butt kills? What's the butt?
Well, I mean, some things were expected, some things were not expected.
Oh Lord, like somebody dying.
I knew Cole was gonna die.
Oh, okay.
Because Cole is not a main character in the game.
Yeah.
He's not a character. Actually, he's not a character in the game.
He's not a character game at all.
Right.
So with his family,
he had to die. Mm-hmm. That's Romeo must die.
Yeah, that part.
But I didn't see them getting rid of Liu Kang.
Well, I didn't get rid of him. He kind of like he dissipated. I don't know how to word. He did some weird stuff, and now he's like I don't know. It was weird.
Exactly. I didn't expect that to happen.
I didn't expect what's the name to be like the what's his name, Johnny Cage, to be the freaking like
the savior of the movie?
Savior, like Johnny Cage, the savior.
But see, they've been hinting at that the whole time.
Why?
Don't know. But
I wish somebody else would play Johnny Cage too, though. I love the actor.
I like Carl Urban.
I like him too, but I think it could be somebody else.
I think he played a decent Johnny Cage.
Okay, whatever.
He played. I mean, if you look at all the animated versions of Johnny Cage, he played Johnny Cage.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if he played the video game version of Johnny Cage, but all the animated, versions of Johnny Cage, he nailed it.
Okay. Favorite fight scene?
Favorite fight scene?
I think it's gonna be everybody's favorite fight scene. What I'm thinking about. Come on, you say it. You know what it is.
The hell
scene. It. What?
The hell scene. I like the hell scene.
Oh no, never mind. That's not the scene I'm talking about.
What scene are you talking about?
I'm talking about against Luke Cage and the one with the hat.
Oh, Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Yeah.
See,
that was the best fight scene.
That was the most acrobatic fight scene.
It was the best fight scene by far in the entirety of the movie, and it was the most thing closely related to a video game that you could see. Like that was dope.
Yeah, I mean, it was well choreographed.
It was well choreographed.
But
it
I
was
think
a great fight
I think
scene.
the fight scene. If you take Johnny Cage out of the hell scene with Shadow and Scorpion, that was a hell of a fight scene too.
Okay, but what's more video game related?
That was okay. I'll give you that. This is more video game related.
Yeah, it's more video game. It's
But
more,
I don't consider that just because it's more video game related doesn't make it the best fight.
It does, because that's the whole point. Because Mortal Kombat was a freaking video game.
Yes.
And so the fact that you can see a live version of that done on the screen, where it's like it's a fight scene, but you can tell that it was like this is how the video game was played.
Right.
Like that was the nostalgia. That was the thing that got you hooked, and it was like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. But other,
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say this: the background made it better than the hell scene.
okay,
The background
the hell scene was nice.
the background pushed it more towards the video game. I will say that.
Okay, yeah, I mean the hell scene was nice. It was good. Don't get me wrong, it was cool, but
And then they did keep it to where, at that point, to me, they kept it to the actual game, because the original Sub-Zero does become Smoke,
I
or
didn't know
as
that.
they now call him Shadow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, behind.
Because I figured that was Smoke, but they called him Shadow. I'm
They
like,
call-
what?
yeah.
I'm like, was there a Shadow in the video game? I remember it was Smoke, but not Shadow.
The newer versions call him Shadow.
Interesting. Okay. Now, was there any character you wish you would have seen though?
With the way they're doing it, I would have liked to have seen more of Raiden actually as a fighter, because they did show the little scene of him doing the torpedo against Shang Tsung,
Oh yeah.
but that was just real quick and it was over with. I was like, that's where, to me, that's kind of where the old Mortal Kombat kind of hit home, to where it's like, okay, now you see him as a fighter.
Yeah.
Where this, he's still kind of like.
I want to see Rain.
Rain is just another ninja, though.
I mean, I don't know. I just want to see a different character. I don't know. Rain. Who else did I want to see? Who else did we miss? Rain. We saw Reptile. Did we ever see Reptile in the first one?
In the first, no,
No.
yeah, we did.
Not in the first original movie. I'm talking about
No.
the
He
newer
was,
ones.
but he wasn't the way we see him in the game.
Okay. I like those all ninja ones.
like-
That's why. That's probably
yeah,
why.
like- Reptile in the original movie was
A
a
reptile.
that became the ninja.
Yeah.
In this Mortal Kombat series, Reptile was an actual lizard,
Yeah.
and that's all you saw.
Yeah. And that's all you saw. And I'm trying to think, who else did we miss? Who else was in there who else do you think should have been in that one too?
In the second one, I think they messed up when they brought Melina in to the first one. She should have been in the second one, because her whole purpose is she's what's her name's twin sister, but she's a clone. So that would have made more sense to have her in the second movie than in the first movie.
Okay.
I think they're killing characters off too quickly, though. Why would you kill off
Jax.
no, the main guy, the Emperor?
The Emperor.
Why you kill him? He's the whole point of this whole thing. He's the whole point of the whole series. In every game you have, he's still the main guy.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's like the new Street Fighter. If they kill off Bison, what the fuck is the point?
that is the point. That's the end. Kills. It has to end.
But then you're killing the series.
That's it, and that's the series done.
But the series isn't done.
We don't know that,
The way they ended it, it is not done.
but I think they're doing it as an alternate reality, because they're about to go down to the dead and get their dead back. Like, so I
Right.
think that's gonna come out in a different way. But
Oh.
anyway,
One more thing before we end the podcast.
yeah.
This is directed to one particular group.
Oh shit.
Random Fandom. I am still waiting for my invite. You done had my boy on there like 3 times.
I've been on there twice. That's it. I've been on there twice, bro. I just been on there twice.
I've talked to all of you about getting on this show.
I'll reach out, man. I'm gonna see if they. I'll barely get on it, man. It took me another year to get back on, so don't worry. I mean, shoot. But yeah, you gotta do some stuff.
I'm talking to y'all.
They just had Nick on there, the one that's what's poppin' twin, that
Yeah.
guy from
And you're going
the Grinch,
You're going to
Ontario.
You're going to Ontario. Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because Jay just asked me if I want to go because some people dropped out. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll roll. Let's go. I'm going. I'll go. You know, but anyway, man, if you haven't seen the Random Phantom podcast, y'all check out the Random Phantom podcast.
Those are boys.
Those are boys. They're hilarious. The whole group. Basically, it was hosted by my boy Jordan Connolly and my boy Jeremiah White. He's one of the hosts on that show, co-hosts on that show. And literally, they talk about just random fandom things, you know what I mean? Whether it be TV, movies, the episode anime. Episode I was on, we were talking about wrestling. We were talking about like, you know, old school versus new school wrestlers. This last episode, I think they just did like a whole like, what's your top 5 Michael Jackson movies and stuff like that. But they do all kind of random things, y'all. So check them out. Random Fandom. Maybe I'll put a link down below so you can check it out too. Take a link there. But they have all kind of different stuff. Message them, man. If you guys have ideas, I know they're open to stuff. So just message them, talk to them, hit them up.
Flood their inbox. We want Joe Kills.
Flood their inbox, man. And that's how one person got on that show because somebody said, I would love to see this person on the show.
We want Joe Kills.
Yeah, man. But yeah, the problem is you got on damn Instagram.
That's true. That's true.
That's the problem. Like, what's the market? We can't market nothing if you got the Instagram. But anyway, y'all, but check that out. But once again, this has been the Dark Rose Podcast. We appreciate you coming through, position listening. Sorry if the video cut off and I don't put it on there and it's just a blank screen, but you can hear my voice. It's sexy anyway, so don't worry about it. Go ahead and do that. So, Kills, thank you for sliding on through.
Oh, no problem with that.
You'll definitely be back again.
You know, when I can, I do, and when I can't, we can't.
He just can't.
Life be lifing.
Life be lifing like that, yeah. So remember, y'all, love is not bought, it's brewed. So make sure you go out there and show your love for people. And that's all I got for y'all today. So I'll see you when I see you.
Peace.
Peace.